up, Dave is living out his dream and filming in a brewery.
Okay, we're doing things a little bit different today, but we've got two of the things that I love, landscaping and beer. We're here at Moondog Brewery, and wait till you see the best beer garden I've seen in Melbourne. We've talked about beer gardens, but talking about having the best beer garden, look at this one at Moondog that's presented here. I mean, it's got everything. It's got the lagoon, it's got the bars, it's got shipping containers, it's got plants, it's got everything, plus food, which I'm going to try later. Look, they have what they've done. They've played it very safe, but at the same time, you're going to have a lot of sun coming through. The open air roof does help, but you are changing indoor and outdoor plants here. So they do have the classic Monstera, the Strelitzias. We've got some Xanadu's. We've even got some Stags in there as well. All of that put together, and even the Devil's Ivy that's coming out. Because we've been in COVID, you can see that needs a little bit of maintenance, but obviously maintenance guys haven't been able to work. But at the same time, look at it. This is a garden that's going to grow into this industrial area and keep getting better. Generally, what they've got here is 70% indoor plants, OK? So it's a mixture of 30%. So we've got the Cocos palm, that's an outdoor palm. We've got the Strelitzia, that grows outdoors as well. But things like with the Rafus, the Monstera and all that sort of stuff, that's more of an indoor sort of plant as well at the same time. But you mix those together, and this is what you've got. One of the best things about this beer garden that I think everyone loves and stands out is this central lagoon here that comes off almost in like a snake-like river with this massive water feature up the back here. You know, I have said before, we've spoken about Ibiza a few times here, but come on, DJ Booth up there, I think they've got everything here. One thing that I do love about this, everyone is using plastic timber. These guys have stayed true to the Australian dream. We've got hardwood timber all around here, and that's one thing I do love, you know. I think the uses of, you know, with all the containers that we have there, the planting along here, I mean, it's absolutely massive. There's so many different areas in this place, and I'm only at the entrance. I'm sure in a year's time, basically, look, this isn't going to change all year because it's like a hothouse. It's like, almost like a greenhouse, this one in here, OK? So I think all they need to do is basically get into the garden here, clip off the dead leaves, let it flush again, drink some beer and watch your plants grow. So enough about all the garden. Now for my other passion is beer. Now, I haven't been to a pub in nearly a year because of COVID, but you know what? I'm going to get one now. Mate, Brooke, I finally made it to the finish line, mate. You got to tell me, I've been waiting for 9 months for a beer, so this beer must be the best beer I've got to have. What have you got for me?
Well, Dave, I got you one of our classics, the Moondog Lager.
The Moondog Lager?
I've got myself an Old Mate Pale Ale.
Mate, so cheers.
Cheers to that.
All right, so tell me a little bit about this place, because this isn't the normal brewery that you walk into. And I do got to say, the one thing that I love is this central lagoon. Whose idea was that?
Look, I've got to give a lot of credit to Josh. Josh is one of the founders, and I think it was just always a dream of his to put a lagoon inside a venue, which is just crazy enough, but it absolutely works. It is absolutely...
Honestly, it's something, it draws you to it, and, you know, being in landscape design as well at the same time, it's a little bit quirky. I'm assuming Josh has had a few beers and he might be a little bit quirky if he's given us a design like this.
Absolutely. It's we're a pretty fun and out there sort of brand, so I think, you know, you probably wouldn't expect most people to put a lagoon in their venue, but I think when it comes to Moondog, it just kind of makes sense.
And just talking about the beer, I noticed like there's so many taps of beer here. So how many beers do you brew here?
Yeah, well, we've got 72 taps.
72?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different beers on tap.
Well, I'm going to be here it's going to be a long day then.
It will. It's quite the effort to get through them all, but we've got, you know, our classics from like the Moondog Lager, really easy drinking, refreshing lager, through to like the Pale Ale, which I'm drinking, all the way through to sour beers. We do crazy kind of IPAs. We do some kind of big barrel-aged stouts and kind of everything in between.
And I've noticed that I'm hearing all the noise here behind me. So you're brewing beer for all the Australians at the moment, I'm assuming?
We are, yes. So we've got our new state-of-the-art brewery out the back. So you kind of look through the glass onto the brewery, which I think is a really cool feature as well. And you see all the brewers walking around doing their jobs out there as you're sitting there having a beer. huge site. The whole site's 12,000 square metres.
Oh, wow.
So it's a giant site. The bar part is obviously huge as well, but
Yep.
it extends all the way back into brewery, the fermenters, and then into the packaging area as well.
Look, I noticed one big thing that I do love, and that's the vertical garden as soon as you walk through. So you hit with green straight away.
Yeah.
And as you said, you call this what, the rainforest walk, just
Yeah.
over here. And I mean, it's a very layered garden as well at the same time. And again, I've got to touch on, I love the old school timbers as well, put there as well. So I think, you know, for me, just coming in as a landscaper, I love it. I think, you know, instead of just having the boring factory, the Streletsky palms, one of my favourite, definitely. So, but look, a little bit more growth, and I reckon you've nearly got there. Well, Brooke, I reckon we've covered enough, so I reckon let's cheers to that and let's drink some more beer. So it's taken 4 years of doing Open Homes Australia for these guys to get me the best gig ever at Moondog Brewery here. So I think you guys better nick off now because I'm about to have my next beer. Brooke, beer?